Hi, I'm Linda Chae. I want to tell you about Cypress, an essential oil that it first became my friend, the tree's cypress, when I was going through a tough time about 18 years ago. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Cypress, where it comes from, and then I really want to share this story with you because I think it'll help you understand this restorative oil for transition. So it's an evergreen. Cypress is one of those absolutely beautiful trees. It's just got that softness to it, and unlike any other evergreen, it's just got a gentleness about it. So dark leaves. Now it's got some history. The ancient Egypts used it for incense and meditation. It was very, very common for that. Then you go back to the ancient Greeks, and they dedicated the tree to the god of the underworld because it helps with death or the releasing of things that are no longer in your life and about eternity. So that's why the Greeks celebrated. So let me tell you what was going on in my life. It was a tough time. I was with a company. I had signed a 5-year contract, and the end of that 5 years was over, and I loved the people that I was getting to work with out in the field, but I did not like management. And so I had gone up to the north to visit a friend, Lori, and this was north of Seattle up in Washington. And I was really processing because for as miserable as I was with the lack of ethics in the company and the undercurrents, I loved the people in the field, and I loved how much I was doing with Toxic Free and getting things to Congress and signatures. So I was really torn, but knowing I needed to move on. And so I had been talking for a day and a half with my friend and just wrestling back and forth. And she says, let's go for a walk. Let's go for a walk, because you know the answer. You know what's the best thing to do. And let's just see if the forest helps you find it. So this was a conifer forest. This was full of cypress. And so from the smell of the earth underneath my feet and the dropped essences, that was just, the scent was rich. And touching the trees, something just began to break through with me. And so the emotions I processed are the following. And I didn't know then that these were all the benefits of the cypress tree and what cypress can do for each and every one of us. So it really helps us have profound psychological actions when we need to change. And it helps create cohesion and stability. And boy, did I need that, because I just felt so torn apart and didn't know what to do. It helps with life transition. It helps you figure out change. Sometimes change is your choice, and sometimes life changes, and people leave and all sorts of things, and we're left to deal with it. So to cope and to accept this difficult change that was going on in my life, this forest became my friend. And I felt an encouragement just from the scent, just from the nature of it. And I was able to kind of breathe in and let go and take in the goodness of the experience of 5 years with people I loved, and realized I could not serve them and be in integrity if I didn't let go of everything that didn't work for me. So taking in and letting go is part of what Cypress helps us do. It helped me accept that I had had 5 fabulous years and had made tons of friends, and that it was time to relinquish that part of my life. It was time to end the contract, not renew it. And so as I breathed in that cypress, and that's really, it's in Chinese medicine, cypress is a lung oil. And so it's through the lungs that we have that ability to breathe in and to let go, to dissolve remorse, to instill optimism. But we have to be willing and conscious to let go when we breathe out, when we're holding a bottle of cypress or putting cypress on us. I know cypress is powerful on the bottoms of the feet. So then you have some left on your hands. So I put it full strength on the bottom of my feet, just like that forest was full strength on my feet. And then I could breathe it. I ended up scrunching it in my hair because we laid down in the forest. I finally, in letting go, I just wanted to cry. And I laid down on the floor of the forest, and that night I could smell the cypress in my hair. So even to this day, I'll take and after I've put it on my feet, I'll squeeze it in my hair and just really feel it. What it did for me, and does even today, is when I want to find a new direction and I have some self-doubt, gosh, is it going to work out? Am I going to do this? Should I be doing that? Should I be doing something else? Should I not be taking on something new? Those self-doubts just helps resolve them. And it strengthens my capacity to really take on anything that's obstructing me and liberates my energy so that I've got the power within. So that's the psychological level and how much it helped me. It was the best decision I ever made, to leave that company and to move on. And the friends that were my friends out in the field, out in all the cities around the United States, stayed my friends. Let me talk about the physical, because for some people, cypress is going to serve you physically. It's going to be restorative. Now, a lot of essential oils are restorative. So sometimes it really doesn't matter which one you pick. But this one is going to be restorative to veins. Now, we've talked about how effective helichrysum is on veins. So when you have two things that are good for blood flow and for toning blood, you can certainly mix them together and have two pathways that are approaching it. So where helichrysum helped the blood flow through the veins, helped dissolve the clots, cypress tones, it creates structure, it creates strength in the veins so that they don't bulge varicose veins. They're not out of sorts. All right, so when you smell cypress, there's a sour, pungent smell. That's the astringent, cooling nature of it. Now, those words are Chinese medicine words. You look at if something is constricting or something is expansive. Cypress is putting structure, balance, logic around things. In the psychological, in the body, it's putting the strength in the veins. It also helps enliven blood flow, harmonize blood flow, but within structure. So menstrual bleeding, it regulates it. When we feel spasmodic, so little twitch in muscles or in the gut, it helps put structure around that. It's decongesting. Many essential oils are decongesting. They just help break up where we've got congestion. It's detoxifying. So any oil you put on the bottoms of the feet just help detoxify. Some more gentle than others. Cypress is gentle. Doesn't cause you to go into a detox, getting sick. It's good for asthma. It's also good for acne. Boy, is this a good one. And as a wood, sometimes guys like this. It's excellent on the back of acne, on the chest, on the face. And cypress doesn't dry the skin out as much as a tea tree oil. And yet, it assists in the healing, not only the bumps and the redness of acne, but the causes of acne. Why? Because it works on lymphatic congestion. So just a touch about what lymph is. Your blood is mostly lymph. So the lymph, or the watery part of your blood, presses out through the sides of the blood vessels. When we breathe, we expand, and when we expand, there's little capillary holes, and that's where the lymph comes through. That's what takes the nutrition out of the blood veins and arteries directly into all of the tissues, the muscles, the gut, the skin. So the lymphatic congestion very specifically is worked on by cypress. It's also that lymphatic congestion that is related to all of those emotions we talked about. So as an end result, it'll also help work on rheumatic pain. So check out Cypress and add it to the oils you can fall in love with, because they're there to serve you.